Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions! Haha. Yeah, this is the Digimon World episode. Yeah. Digimon World is a digital pet RPG developed by Bandai and released on the PlayStation in Japan on January 28, 1999, North America on May 23, 2000, and the PAL region on July 6, 2001. This is a game I have a love and hate relationship with, and one of the few games I never beat in my childhood. Well, you guys know me and UnderRadar by now, so clearly there's a reason I want to cover this game on my show. So let's jump into the digital world and tame some Digimon!
I'm home! Huh? It's Digimon! Huh? He's saying something. Huh?
The story of Digimon World surrounds you, a young boy who is sucked into the Digivice and sent into the digital world. You are greeted by Digimon, who tasks you with traveling around the digital world to save the Digimon that have gone feral and return them to File City to bring the city back to its former glory. Digimon World will run you about 40 hours to complete the story, with over 100 hours to fully complete it, and honestly, I feel like for me it would be 100 hours to beat it and more to complete it with how the game's direction is, but we'll get to that in the gameplay section. For now, let's jump into the visuals and see how far they stack up. The graphics for Digimon World are almost painful to look at sometimes. The cutscenes for the beginning of the game have such a horrid facial movement that it makes the human characters look creepy, and the in-game graphics feel so sharp and jagged it made me feel like my eyes would bleed. Honestly, this game made me feel like PlayStation 1 graphics looked more thin and sharp than they used to, but at the end of the day it did its job and it's not too terrible. At least the designs for the Digimon are still great in this 3D world, and the pre-rendered backgrounds are decent as well. I do enjoy that they have giant Digivices around as a constant reminder that you're not just in a world, but you're inside one Digivice. Kinda begs the question honestly of if this game's version of the multiverse theory has to do with other players' Digivices. Yeah, you think about that for a second. Honestly, from the limited time I've played Digimon World, the music is alright but very limited. I do enjoy the battle theme. And what feels like the event battle theme. but I love the nighttime File City theme as it not only feels relaxing, but also feels like a tune I could really fall asleep to. Other than the music, for the most part, you'll be exploring the world with some calming ambient sounds of nature, which in a way kind of helps immerse you into the world, where in reality we don't have our own background music for our day-to-day lives. But wouldn't that be interesting? As for voice acting, while it's extremely limited to the opening scene and the intro of the game, I'll just address that I do like the boy's character voice and they did a decent job for the small lines they were given. One complaint I do have about the sound quality of this game is just the overall running noises you hear as you adventure through the game. Even worse if you have a giant Digimon following around like Greymon. Although it's odd for a game to have so many limits in the audio area, Digimon World is still good on its music. The gameplay for Digimon World is pretty much a higher quality version of your Digivice toy that some of us used to play back when we were kids, except this game also includes a story too. I remember the days of playing with my Digivice as a kid in Puerto Rico back when the fad was all about the digital pets like Gigapets and the like. I was even dumb enough to trade my Digimon for a turtle Gigapet when I wanted some kid's dog Gigapet because I was a dumb kid back in the day. But hopefully you'll enjoy that little bit of my background as we cover this game. So let's move on to other aspects of the game. So just like your typical Digivice in real life, in Digimon World you not only have your mission which involves battling with your Digimon, but you also need to take care of your Digimon as well. Throughout your adventures, your Digimon will get hungry, so you must feed it. Get sick, so you must give it medicine. And yes, it will need to poop, so you must take it to a nearby toilet. Otherwise, he will poop on the ground and that care mistake will negatively impact how your Digimon will digivolve. Speaking of which, Digivolution is extremely strict with their conditions if you want a specific Digimon. Many factors come into play like specific stats, care mistakes, to even the weight of the Digimon at the time of its Digivolution. Your Digimon will digivolve at age 4 when becoming a champion, so you have time in the beginning of the game to train and take care of your Digimon to get the desired Digivolution you want. I highly suggest looking up a guide on how to obtain the one you want, as trial and error in this game becomes a frustrating experience based on my playthroughs. With that said, let's talk about the meat of the game. The combat system is somewhat random, but I like it because it feels more realistic as the Digimon run around and attack on their own while you throw out commands. Eventually, as you train your Digimon and your tamer level, you'll gain new commands like telling them to attack, and eventually you get to the point where you can yell out specific attacks equipped on them to use. And with the various attacks you'll learn as you raise your Digimon, this will be the essential as you continue your journey. I will say, however, that as much as I sing this game's praises, one major issue I have with it is the clear lack of direction on where to go and what to do. I never ended up finishing the game because I had to maintain my Digimon while trying to stay alive while trying to find these Digimon to save that I didn't know how to balance it out. It's difficult because you realize it's like the physical Digivices and your Digimon will eventually die and you have to raise a new one all over again. even earlier if you do too many care mistakes. With all that said, this is one of those games that begs for a guide so you can get the full enjoyment of raising your Digimon as well as beating the story mode. With this major flaw, it may feel off-putting to even play this game, but I still think Digimon World is worth at least a playthrough or two just so you can have fun raising a digital pet. Despite Digimon World's lack of direction and horrible footsteps plaguing you as you adventure, it's still a really cool game with lovable monsters from a franchise I grew up with and miss dearly. I have seen the recent Cyber Sleuth and Next Order games, but I felt like there wasn't much talk about the one that started it all, and so here we are. Honestly, I wish the Digivice toy was brought back again for the newer generation of kids to enjoy. But of course with some new features like a sleep mode so my Digimon doesn't die from starvation or pooping itself to death while I'm asleep. Thank you guys for another fantastic episode of UnderRadar, and I'll see you on the next one.